1964 wasn't just another year in music. It was a takeover. Rock and roll stopped feeling like a trend. It started feeling permanent. Radio changed, charts shifted, and suddenly, American audiences were screaming for bands with accents. This wasn't a slow transition. This was ignition. So tonight, we're not counting down random hits. We're looking at the songs that define 1964, the ones that changed direction, shifted culture, and set the blueprint for everything that followed. Let's start with the spark. I Want to Hold Your Hand, the Beatles. This wasn't subtle. When this hit American radio, it didn't creep up the charts. It exploded. The energy was different. The harmonies were tighter. The sound was urgent, but joyful. And when the Beatles landed in the US, everything shifted. This wasn't just a hit single. This was the start of the British invasion. Now let's follow that with something that proved it wasn't a fluke. A Hard Day's Night, the Beatles. If I Want to Hold Your Hand opened the door, this song kicked it off the hinges. That opening chord alone signaled something new. Clean, sharp, and unmistakable. And more importantly, it proved the Beatles weren't a novelty. They were writers. They were evolving. And they were here to stay. Now let's pivot into something darker. House of the Rising Sun, the Animals. This wasn't bubblegum. This was brooding. Slow build, minor key, emotional weight. It showed that British bands weren't just copying. American blues, they were reshaping it. It felt older than the charts, heavier than pop, and it introduced depth into mainstream rock radio. Now let's bring in Motown. Where Did Our Love Go, the Supremes? Smooth, polished, perfectly constructed. This wasn't raw rock energy. This was precision. Motown wasn't chasing trends. It was building its own machine, and it worked. The Supremes didn't just have a hit. They set a standard. And 1964 was the year that sound became unavoidable. Next, something electric. You Really Got Me, the Kinks. Distorted guitar, aggressive rhythm. No polish, no softness. This was proto-hard rock before hard rock had a name. And it showed that 1964 wasn't just clean suits and harmonies. It had bite. Now let's move into something soulful. My Girl, the Temptations. This was warmth, smooth bassline, gentle build, effortless vocal delivery. Motown wasn't just producing hits, it was producing identity. This song defined romantic pop for a generation. Now let's step into the streets. Dancing in the Street, Martha and the Vandellas. Upbeat, urgent, infectious. On the surface, it was a party anthem. But underneath, it carried a pulse of unity, a feeling that something bigger was forming. 1964 was a year of movement. This song captured it. Now let's bring in something reflective. The times, they are A-Changin, Bob Dylan. Folk music wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. Dylan's songwriting didn't chase hooks, it chased ideas. And in 1964, ideas were gaining power. This song signaled that lyrics could matter as much as melody. Rock wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was commentary. Now let's swing back to something confident. Oh, Pretty Woman, Roy Orbison. Driving rhythm, bold vocal, hook-heavy structure. It felt American. It proved that, while the British invasion was dominating headlines, American artists were still commanding the airwaves. Orbison didn't compete with the invasion. He stood beside it. And finally, let's go. Close with something pure pop energy. Do You Love Me, the Dave Clark 5. Clean suits, sharp rhythm, radio-ready hooks. They were part of the wave, but with their own personality. It proved that 1964 wasn't about one band. It was about momentum. So, what did 1964 actually do? It made rock global. It elevated songwriting. It brought Motown into the mainstream. It blended blues, pop, folk, and soul into one cultural force. And it proved something critical. Music wasn't background anymore. It was center stage. If one of these songs instantly transported you somewhere, a living room, a dance floor, a first crush, drop it in the comments. Because this is just the beginning. Next up, and things get louder. Keep that turntable spinning.